One of the greatest mysteries of the Hebrew Bible involves the Ark of the Covenant, the vessel of the stone tablets on which God inscribed the Ten Commandments, imbued with incredible destructive powers. The Bible makes frequent and detailed reference to the extraordinary power of the Ark, but the object inexplicably vanishes from historical record sometime in the 6th or 7th century BCE. The word Ark, as it originally appeared in Hebrew, means a kind of container or a simple boat, and the covenant refers to the agreement Moses made with God to have the Hebrews become his chosen people. The Ark of the Covenant was built to house the Ten Commandments as they were inscribed on 2 stone tablets. The earliest reference to the Ark occurs in Exodus 25 verse 10, when God commands Moses to build him a sanctuary so that he can dwell amongst the Hebrews. The Ark was constructed by divine specifications at 1.2 meters long and 76 centimeters tall and 76 centimeters wide. It was made of acacia wood and covered in gold inside and out. The lid was a solid gold slab called the mercy seat, 2 cherubim that were standing on opposite sides of God when Moses encountered him on Mount Sinai. God told Moses that he'd speak to him from between these cherubim, and the Bible often describes God appearing here as a vaporous cloud. When God gave Moses the Ten Commandments, he ordered him to place the stone tablets they were written on inside the Ark. God also commanded him to place inside of it a pot of manna and the staff of Moses' brother, Aaron, and to consecrate the sacred vessel with the oil of holy ointment. The Ark was to serve as a mobile sanctuary for the commandments of God, and for the Spirit of God himself during the Hebrews' 40-year exile in search of the promised land of Israel. The Ark was to be carried by the priests of the Levite tribe, the tribe of Moses, on gold-coated acacia wood poles slid through gold rings on its sides, and was to be handled according to specific instructions from God. When not traveling, the Ark was placed in a portable fenced-in tent called the tabernacle. The Ark was almost never opened in all its history, and it was kept under a veil of badger skins and a blue cloth, shielding onlookers from its supernatural radiance. It was brought into battle in their wars against the Amorites, the Midianites, and the Philistines. In Joshua 3, the river Jordan dried up under the feet of the priest carrying the Ark across. Later, the Hebrews marched the Ark around the city of Jericho once a day for 7 days, allegedly causing the stone walls to come crashing down when the priests sounded their horns. The Ark was also consulted as a divining tool before several important battles. At the same time, however, the Ark was extremely dangerous, and inflicted suffering and death upon those who approached it without great care. Nadav and Avihu, the sons of the priest Aaron, brought a foreign flame in a metal incense burner to offer a sacrifice in the tabernacle, and were engulfed by a burst of flame emanating from the Lord and killed. King Uzziah was struck with leprosy when he too brought a foreign flame in a metal burner before the Ark. When Uzzah tried to steady the Ark while it was being transported by ox cart, he was immediately struck dead. After a crushing military defeat at Ebenezer described in the book of Samuel, the Hebrews lost the Ark to the Philistines, who kept it for 7 months within their borders. In all 3 cities it visited, its arrival coincided with great afflictions on the people. There was an outbreak of mice and sores, or tumors, at Ashdod, and an idol of the god Dagon was mysteriously laid prostrate before the Ark, with its head and hands broken off. The people of Gath and Ekron were also afflicted by sores or tumors, and many in Ekron were killed. The Philistines returned the Ark to Israel in a spirit of apology, and it was passed between several cities before landing in Jerusalem. As it was passing through Beth Shemesh, some of the men there made the mistake of approaching the Ark in a profane manner, and according to some translations, touching or looking inside of it, and were immediately killed by God. The Ark passed through the care of a number of priests after the Hebrews settled the Promised Land, and before the unification of the Kingdom of Israel under King David, around 1000 BCE. David decided to build the temple as a place of rest for the Ark of the Covenant, and received a plan for its construction from God. But it was Solomon, David's son and second king of the Israelites, who built it. The Temple of Solomon was built on a sacred rock thought to be the place from which the creation of the earth began. The Ark sat directly on this rock, called the shittim, or foundation stone, enclosed in its own sacred space called the Holy of Holies, where it was safely guarded from the laity. Only the high priest was allowed to enter the Holy of Holies, and only once a year under strict conditions. The Israelites maintained the Ark in the Temple of Solomon at least until Uzziah was struck with leprosy in 740 BCE, and most likely until 701 BCE. After this, the Ark simply vanishes from record. The first indication that the Ark had been removed from Solomon's temple occurs in the book of Jeremiah, written in 626 BCE, when the prophet foresees a time when the Israelites will no longer miss the Ark of God. Passages from Kings and Deuteronomy provide further clues that it was gone under the reign of Josiah, which spanned from 641 to 609 BCE. A passage in 2 Chronicles, written in 622 BCE, makes it clear that the Ark was absent from the temple when King Josiah commands the Levites to return it there. So the Ark was almost certainly gone by the end of the 7th century BCE. Nevertheless, mainstream academic opinion is that the Ark remained in Solomon's temple until the Babylonian king Nebuchadnezzar invaded Jerusalem and destroyed it in 587 BCE. However, the biblical description of the pillaging of the temple makes no mention of the Ark, even though it provides a very detailed list of what was taken as booty, and clearly specifies that Nebuchadnezzar's men had removed the doors to the Holy of Holies. That the Ark's no longer a concern to Jewish groups today is remarkable in its own right, given its central place in the religious life of their ancient predecessors. The one object to contain God's Spirit, and the instrument through which multiple supernatural acts occurred that saved the nation of Israel, simply vanished from history.